Well, hello, welcome back to my video. I am Mickey B. Have we met? If not, it's nice to meet you. Welcome back to week 7, Wednesday of week 7 in my rehabilitation series. This is the second week of my henna, because I hennaed in week 6. And so now we're just going to go ahead and knock out really quick this midweek session. It doesn't have to take long. My hair is maintaining the moisture levels, so I'm liking that. I partially have taken the braid down just to save some time while we're here. So I'm going to go ahead and jump right into it and get started. So I hope everybody's doing well today. I don't know what to talk about today. I don't want to bore you guys with boring conversation. Really, we're just here to get the hair done, get the job done. So, and whatever I can think to ramble off about. So, I guess one of the highlights of my week so far, and this is truly a highlight, is that I have my camera was doing something weird. Yeah, one of the highlights of my week, truly a highlight for me, is I figured out how to what am I trying to say with my computer? Oh, I figured out how to manage my memory on my computer when I was getting, when I get the notices that I'm running out of disk space or not enough memory, and how to figure out how to, I can't even talk. I'm thinking too hard here. So I figured out how to get the footage off of my computer onto my external hard drive. That's what I'm trying to say. And for the longest, I felt like that was a very complicated process. It just wasn't easy to me. It wasn't something that I knew that I could jump right into and figure out. And so I dreaded doing it, and I kept putting it off, and I wasn't sure exactly how to go about figuring that out. So, as luck would have it, and having time with this pandemic to really sit down and figure this thing out, I did my standard go-to, and that is I went to YouTube and Googled how to move files from your computer to an external hard drive. Normally it's easy, but with an iMac, with Apple, it's not that simple as what you're used to when you go from a regular PC. So a PC, you just copy it, slide it over, it's good to go. But an iMac, not so much if you don't have it formatted properly. And I knew that it required formatting, but I did not know how to figure out how to format it. So I went to YouTube and I put in my, I think I just put in the question, how to move files from an iMac to an external hard drive, and it started from there. And then you get the different suggestions, and then you always come across one where God bless them, they're trying to be helpful, but they don't really tell you anything. But that's what I love about YouTube, because if you keep looking, eventually you're going to find something that helps, and each little video that you come across gives you a little bit more information than you had prior to finding that, but it might not have answered the question or solved the dilemma for you, but it definitely gave you a little piece of the pie of what it is you need to do. So that's kind of how I started, and finally I found my way to a video that because the videos were telling you what you needed to do in order to copy files onto the external hard drive. But that was if it was a brand new external hard drive, one that didn't already have files on it. The problem with mine is I had files on it already, and I don't know how I got those on it, because I had a guy help me from work who was like a IT person, so he didn't really explain to me or show me what he had done. And come to find out, what he did, how he got the files that were already on there, was not the best way for my Mac, because what he did was he figured out a way to get them on there, but then I couldn't get them from the hard drive back to the Mac if I needed to. And of course you want to have that option. So anyways, and that was one of the popular questions that everybody kept asking, because they were saying if you don't have a new external hard drive, because here's the thing, let me back up a little. When you have a brand new external hard drive, it's easy to format it. Part of formatting it, when you go to format it, you have to erase everything that's on that drive. And because it's brand new, it's already empty, so that's not an issue. But when you have an existing hard drive where you already have files on it, everybody kept telling you how to format it where you erase it like it's a brand new one, but nobody addressed the issue of how to do it and not have to erase your files that were already on there. And that's the problem that I was having. So every video kept showing the basic how to format a new drive. And the question, every time I would go to the comments, somebody kept asking the question, well, how do you do it if you already have files on there that you don't want to erase? So finally, and this is the good thing about YouTube, eventually somebody's going to provide something. You just have to keep reading those comments, or just keep going to a different video and reading the comments. And that's what ended up happening, because every time I was reading the comments to see if anybody ever answered that question, because it was the same question that I had. The drive I was trying to slide the files to already had files on there, and it's a 2 terabyte hard drive, and I have over a terabyte of space on there that I could copy those files to. So I wanted to use that up, and so I kept reading, and finally somebody in the comments provided a link, and I hope that I saved this video where that comment was on there. But someone provided a comment and said you don't have to erase or lose the files that you have. All you have to do is go to, because it's a Seagate, the one that I have, it's a Seagate external drive, and so there was a link that took you to Seagate's website, and that link allowed you to download something. I don't have it in front of me, so I'm not even going to try to remember what it was, but the download was something that downloaded onto the iMac, and it basically was is a tool that allows the iMac to slide documents to the external drive, and so you can I think they said read and write, but basically you can slide them over to the hard drive, and you can slide them from the hard drive back to the iMac. So this thing that I downloaded is kind of like a tool that communicates with both sides, or that allows the hard drive to talk to the iMac, and it allows the iMac to talk to the hard drive. So I clicked on the link, I downloaded it, and this is the thing with YouTube, and I'm not an IT person, but I just kind of followed the prompts, and I knew what was supposed to be happening, but I couldn't really tell you what was happening. But I just followed the prompts. I allowed the download to take place. I told the iMac that it was okay to do so. because it was Seagate's official website, so I was comfortable with doing that. And so I went ahead and downloaded it, and after I downloaded it, my computer acted a little weird. My desktop display didn't come back the way it used to look, and my desktop icons, none of the pictures showed up on them, so I'm like, oh no, what did I do? So, but I saw that it had downloaded that tool. I'm not sure what to call it, because I saw the picture of that, the icon of that was on my desktop on the iMac. So I saw that that was there, and it said that all I had to do was restart my computer. You know, the instructions always say all you have to do is this, you know, download it, restart your computer, and then it should allow you to move the files. Well, it didn't happen that easily, but once I downloaded it, I just rebooted the computer a couple times to eventually my iMac looked normal again, and all my pictures that I had on there looked the same, and they all showed up where they were supposed to. And then I saw that the thing that I had downloaded, I saw that that was still there. And then I went and found my hard drive. You know how you can go to devices and it'll show you all the different drives that are available. So I found my hard drive and copied a document. I did a test and I copied a document from my iMac to the hard drive. You know, I highlighted it and slid it over, and it worked. And I was like, wow, it really worked. I've been trying to figure this out for so long. And so after I did that, I did another one, and then when I slid it over, and it worked exactly like we expect it to work, like it works on a PC, a regular PC. So I was like, cool. And so then I said, well, let me now see, before I get too excited, let me make sure that I can go from the hard drive back to the computer. So I tested that, and that worked. So I was like, cool. So then I just highlighted, I went through all of my documents, because I saw where it was over 300 gigabytes of space that my documents were taking up. Documents, pictures, music, and all that. And it was slowing my iMac down. And that kind of is discouraging when you're trying to do videos and upload, because when your memory starts to get full, it slows it down. And when it slows it down, it's no fun editing, because you gotta wait for the thing to keep turning to come. So I wanted to take everything off of my iMac and slide it on to my hard drive, my external hard drive, and then that way my iMac will move a lot faster. It'll make editing a lot easier, and then I can now manage all of my footage. And just once I'm done, because when I record something like this, I have to download it onto the iMac, and then I have to edit it, make the video, load it up, and then from there I can just slide it over to the hard drive and store everything there, and not on my iMac. So I don't know if this is confusing, you guys, but so anyways, I figured out how to do that. So I slid everything over to the hard drive, and now my iMac is super free. And so now that I figured this out, I can now create folders and files and get things organized. So as I slide them from the iMac to the hard drive, I can slide them into folders that will allow me to, like a quick reference, to find any footage that I'm looking for in case I want to remember, you know, include something in a video. You know how you kind of go back, you'll be like, 3 years ago I used to do this. You'll be able to go find that video a lot easier and include that footage in the video that you're editing at the time. So it just makes it like a very functioning and efficient file system if you set it up right the first time. which is what I didn't do, what I've been wanting to do, what I should have done, but didn't do. So now I'm on the right track with all of that. So that is one of the highlights of my week, figuring that out and allowing me to be way more efficient with my computer and downloading and managing the footage that I record, and once I'm done with it, allowing myself the ability to store it in a place where it's going to be organized and allow me to have quick reference. So once I figured out how it all worked and that it was actually working, then I went and I took every document, every picture, everything, and slid it all over to my hard drive. And when I did that, I still have, I think, almost 1 terabyte of space on my external, because it was a 2 terabyte. So that was enough to probably store my computer, like three full computers, maybe 3 or 4 computers onto that hard drive. So I've got a lot of space now. And I realized a while ago that that's what I needed to do and needed to figure out what to do back then, and was on path trying to get there, but just never had the time to sit down and focus on it. This was another thing that came out of this pandemic for me, another project that I was able to complete, conquer, be successful, and allowing something in my life to be simple the way it should be. So saying all that to say, if you are thinking about doing YouTube videos, or if you already are, before you get to the point of your computer possibly running out of space, you should definitely try to get an external hard drive first, and then format it before you do anything to it. Format it so that you can transfer documents over to it as you create them on your computer, your iMac, whatever your main computer is. As you create them, download them onto that, create the ability to slide them over to the external hard drive once you're done for storage, and that way you'll always keep your computer moving a lot quicker, because it doesn't have to sort through all that memory that you have used up because you've got everything stored on your main computer. So that's the beauty of the external hard drives. So now that I have that set up, it's like it makes my life a lot easier when it comes to recording and managing that footage, and knowing that my computer is always going to be at its fastest speed now, because I don't have all that memory just sitting there tying it up, making it move a lot slower. So that was something that I figure maybe you guys would be interested in knowing. And if you might be having the same issue, just Google. Every time I'm trying to figure something out, I not necessarily Google, but I go to YouTube, because I'm a visual learner. The videos are always more helpful for me, and I know I'm not the only one. But yeah, I've learned how to do a lot, especially with my electronics. Now, I can't explain technically what everything is, but I can tell you what I did and how I got it to work. And whenever I find a video like that that helps me figure something out, I definitely save it to a playlist, and in case I have to refer back to it and do it again. That's why I said I need to go and find that video that showed me how to do this. And it was weird because it was the only one with a comment that kind of addressed the issue. All the other videos and so many comments were asking the question, what do you do, if you don't want to have to erase everything? Everybody had the same question. And so it paid off because I continued to read all those comments pretty far down to see if that question was ever going to be answered. And sure enough, someone provided that link. And I'm telling you, that's when I really, really love YouTube, because it has taught me a lot. It has saved me a lot of money as far as having someone have to come out and fix something for me or show me how to do something. That if you have just enough gumption about you, or gusto, whatever word you're supposed to use, you can figure this out. You can figure a lot of things out. Just don't be intimidated. And what I like with the Mac is I don't think you can do too much harm to it, because it really has a pretty good security built into it and pretty good firewall. Like, it asked me before that thing downloaded, you know, if I wanted to give permission just this one time. I mean, it really helped it's kind of like having someone there guiding you through, even though you're not sure of what you're doing. So, but yeah, that was my highlight. That's how I figured out how to do it. And just remember, YouTube is definitely a good resource when you're trying to figure out how to work a lot of these electronics. A lot of people definitely do share a lot of how things are figured out. And if I had time, maybe I'll go in and try to make a video, but the problem with me is I can't really explain it from a technical standpoint. I would just show you kind of like how I talked it through tonight, and I don't think that I'm in a position to try and teach somebody something that I can't even explain with the right vocabulary, the right computer vocabulary. But on that note, we're done. And I'm just gonna take this Jamaican black castor oil. I'm not gonna do this on camera, but I'm just going to show you, just take it and put it along my edges. All right, I'll go ahead and do it on camera because it's not gonna take long. But yeah, just make sure I just do it down the middle and then around the edges, around the perimeter of my head. So that's all I do. I just don't want to run out of memory on this card. So on that note, while I'm doing this, I will close out the video and say thank you so much for joining me tonight. I hope that you enjoyed tonight's session. I look forward to Wednesdays because I can be quick, get in and out, and not have to worry about it after the fact. I can just go to bed. So I hope you guys are seeing progress with your hair journeys, if you are on one with me as well, or if you're not, I hope you just enjoy watching and seeing the progress with my hair. Speaking of which, I didn't show you Baldy today, so there's Baldy. Okay, I hope I got it there. I never know where the sweet spot is, so I like to just pause for a moment, make sure I get it right. So yeah, you guys tell me, what do you think about the progress? Are you seeing any progress on your end? Do you think you're seeing any progress? I feel like we're making small leaps, but again, 6 months will be the mark where I will expect to see a little bit more of a drastic change. So I'm just hanging in there until we get closer to that mark. So thumbs up the video if you enjoy these videos. Leave me a comment if you have something to say, or just hit the like button if you like this video series. And I will see you on Sunday at the beginning of week 8. Have a great day, you guys. Bye-bye.